Good morning, everyone. We'll now call to order the Warren County Fiscal Court, our special called meeting on Thursday, April 13th, 2023. Appreciate everyone's patience. We have a great meeting of solving the county's business today, but we also have some special guests with us, and we wanted to ensure that we were able to recognize everyone that's here with us today. But first and foremost, we want to start off, like we do every meeting, with an invocation, and today it's going to be by Dr. Terry Daniels with Transformation Christian Center. At the end of that, then we'll stand for the pledge. It'll be led by Squire Cummings.
Let us bow. Father God, we bow before you this morning, thanking you, Lord, for just your grace and your mercy that you continue to use to cover us. We thank you, Lord, for allowing us to come before this county to do this work. We thank you, Lord, for this audience that has been brought together. Pray that you would just give us governance and guidance in all that we do and all that we say. We thank you, Lord, for all those that serve in this county and in this city, in this community. Pray that you would just give them wisdom and knowledge as they've never seen before, that everyone that's served will benefit to your glory and to your honor. Thank you for our firefighters, God. We thank you, Lord, for all of our servants that go into harm's way each and every day. Let them sense and know, God, that your hands are covering them. We pray that you would give us guidance today, Lord, that everything that's done in this place will bring glory to your name. It's in the mighty and blessed name of Jesus we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Stand. Face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Here.
Esquire Aldridge.
Here.
Esquire Lasley.
Here.
Esquire Cummings.
Here.
Esquire Williams.
Here.
Esquire McWhorter.
Here.
All right, first item is approved minutes of the special called fiscal court meeting on March 9th, 2023, and the special called fiscal court meeting also on March 23rd, 2023. Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire McWhorter. Questions or corrections? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 5, approved work schedule for the Warren County Road Department. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire McWhorter. Questions or discussion? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 6, approve the personnel changes for Warren County.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire Aldridge. Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. We're going to stop our proceedings right now and welcome a few guests with us today. And first off, it is a great honor to have the 2023 KHSAA state champion Warren Central Dragons with us today. So I'm reminded of a quick story that was long before these gentlemen's time, but in 1976, Indiana University won the NCAA championship, and they lost the year before by 2 points, and when they congratulated the coach for winning, the first thing he said was it should have been 2. Now, I'm hoping Coach Unseld doesn't have that same thing. However, I think what is important is this isn't just about this year. The young men that you're seeing here lost. They're 2 points away from being back-to-back national champion or state champions. They lost last year to George Rogers Clark, this group of gentlemen right here, plus a couple extras, by 1 point in the state championship. So unbelievable. But what that also meant was they had a target on their backs the entire season. Everyone in the state of Kentucky knew and understood the #1 team in the state, not at the end of March, but October 15th was Warren Central High School. And so the pressure these gentlemen were under for the entire year to be number one was amazing. But if you followed their season, they won the King of the Bluegrass, which is a mammoth tournament, an accomplishment in itself, and then went through, had a close championship game, but at the end of the day, all I would ask you to do is go look at their record this year. There's a whole lot of teams that wish they hadn't played Warren Central because they blitzed everyone they played. But it talks to the greatness of this group of young men, of Coach Unseld and his coaching staff, the entire school, and it is indeed a proud day for Warren County that Warren Central High School is the champion of the state of Kentucky. And so we want to congratulate each of these young men, this entire program. I looked it up because we wanted to make sure we knew, many states have all kinds of class champions. They might have 5 or 6, whatever. Even Indiana and North Carolina, I think Kentucky and those 3 are the top, but only Delaware, a small state, and Kentucky have one. So I think there's 360 something. I don't know how many high schools there are. This is it. No one better. No one performed better this whole year, but no one better. And 40 years from now, it's your 40th high school reunion. I guarantee you what the first subject's going to be is that's the year we won the state championship. And while Warren Central's done it before, it is a fantastic honor, and it is a great honor for you to be here. Sorry it's at 8 in the morning, and sorry I didn't put you, if it would have been me, I'd have put you last on the agenda so you wouldn't have to go back to school till lunch. But, and in fact, I'll be quite honest with you, we don't care when you go back to school. So that's totally up to your coaches. But what I'd like to do is we have Squire Tom Lawrence, a proud Warren Central Dragon in the 2nd District where Warren Central presides, and also Squire Ron Cummings, a Warren Central graduate. I'm going to have them come forward. We do have the crest of Warren County that we'd like to give each member, and so I'm going to call your names out and have you come forward. And if you come up here, because we will take a picture afterwards, but if you wouldn't mind, I'm going to call you, just come up here and then we'll have them. And so we'll start off, and I apologize, I don't know, is your principal here today? Mr. Norman? Good, okay. All right, and I do have, I know one of our athletic directors, Anthony Hickey, Dustin Gentile, and Jason Esters, if any of those are here. I know Anthony's here. Our managers, Samante Bell and Travion Bunton. Assistant coaches, Ethan Meredith, Mike Doss, and Leland Taylor. And the head coach of the state champion Warren Central Dragons, William Unseld.
I think he can still play today.
Is there anyone that wonders if Coach Unseld has a communication issue and can't get his thoughts across to these players? I don't know. I'd say it's pretty direct, but that's good. All right, let's meet the Dragons. A junior, Caden Hammer. A freshman, Johan Pratt. A junior, Elijah Starks. A junior, Braylon Boards. A junior, Abdahakam Dahir. And he's smiling, which means I butchered that name, and I apologize. A senior, Chapel Whitney. That's the main man, I know. And he should be. A senior, Amari Glover. A senior, Demetrius Barnett. A sophomore, Jarek Kirk. A junior, Cade Unseld. Who never gets a break at anything at the dinner table. He's got to hear it all the time. Now, I know we had a little mix-up this morning. Did they make it in or not? Probably didn't. So Tavion Wells and Demarion Walkup, two fantastic players, and I think they're fine. But they had a fender bender on the way here this morning. So, but let's remember them too. A senior, Malik Jefferson. And a senior, Isaiah Villafuerte. Chapel was. Yeah, Chappelle, yeah. Now, again, I just want to congratulate Warren Central. It means the world to us. I apologize we had to change this date and have it 8 a.m. again, but it's an honor. But forever, this is going to be the 2023 KHSAA Boys Basketball Champions of Warren Central Dragons. Going to be hard to do, but we're going to kind of come in here, we'll get the mattress, we'll take a picture, and
That sounds good.
Okay, go ahead. All right, everybody ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Well, usually I let my associate head coach speak for us. I just want to say thank you for having us. We appreciate it. Got a great group of kids who represented Washington well on and off the court. Everywhere we went this year, people complimented them how they acted, how they carried themselves, how they really represented the school. And I enjoyed coaching them. They made my job easy. We had great people coming in. We appreciate you having us. We're very grateful to bring back the gold ball this year. And yeah, you know, we're close to having two, but we're not going to look like that. I'm only going to worry about that. But no, I'm really being from all of us. We appreciate you having us. It's very, very nice. All right.
His dad is here, he's sick. His dad is sick.
oh, hey, Reverend Whitlock, I know, man.
That's pretty cool.
Just like
All right, next we have a couple more presentations, but this one I want to introduce you to someone who is important as well to this community. But we're happy to have Chris Taylor with us today, who's lieutenant with the Richardsville Fire Department. And while many of you might have heard what happened, I want to share a few things with you. But on March 14th, there was a structure fire in Richardsville, and Chief Brian Lee and Lieutenant Taylor responded to that. That house was an old 1800s home, kind of pretty far off the road, and they assessed that it had an issue on the second floor. Structure fire started, had other fire department members dispatched to that fire. They wanted to attack that because the fire was on the second floor behind a chimney, and while they were in there, as we're well aware, but I think sometimes we take for granted, the dangers that are involved in firefighting and law enforcement and the people that are serving this community. While doing that, that second floor was beginning to start to flash over, and if you know much about a fire, that is the last thing you want to be involved in. And so while attacking that fire, they started to exit in the extreme heat and low visibility. Lieutenant Taylor's mask got caught on one of the beams that was there, and the seal broke on his mask, and that is the last thing you want to have happen. If you know much about fire, they eat oxygen and spit out poison, and there is so he had a extreme high temperature and that poison, and a couple breaths of that, stumbling going down the stairs, but literally collapsed outside. And I know his mother, Tammy, is here with us today. And so I can only imagine their concern for their son, who is a volunteer for this community. Spent 3 days on a ventilator in the hospital with severe burning inside his esophagus and others. But through the grace of God and through this young man, he's with us today. And what I wanted to do today is honor him, and the fiscal court wanted to, so I've got a proclamation. If you wouldn't mind, I want to read that, and then we'll have you come forward there. So this is Office of the Judge Executive, Warren County, a proclamation in honor of Lieutenant Chris Taylor, April 13th, 2023. Whereas Lieutenant Chris Taylor has faithfully served as a volunteer firefighter for the Richardsville Volunteer Fire Department and has distinguished himself as hardworking and dedicated public servant. And whereas Chris has served the citizens of Warren County in one of the largest fire districts in the Commonwealth of Kentucky, which covers 126 square miles with a population of over 11,000 residents. And whereas Chris bravely fought in a 2-story house fire on March 14th, 2023, sustaining life-threatening injuries in the line of duty, but thankfully will fully recover. And whereas this proclamation is presented to Chris with sincere appreciation and gratitude for his heroic acts of service, now therefore, we, the Fiscal Court of Warren County, do hereby proclaim April 13th, 2023 as Lieutenant Chris Taylor Day. And witness thereof, I've here to set my signature on this seal. So Chris, I'd like to have you come forward if you wouldn't mind with the Fiscal Court.
Got it.
All right, Sheriff Hightower.
Thank you, Judge. I just want to take this time to introduce a friend of ours today, Eli. If you'll come forward. So this is Eli Johnson, and Eli is a Part of Gray student, and they had a fundraiser event. I got that phone call asking if I would allow a student to ride with me for the day, so ride with the sheriff for the day. So I agreed to that, and so I think this is a great opportunity for him to come here this morning, particularly to fiscal court. And he's going to spend all day today to meet our magistrates, to meet our judge executive, to kind of see how government works, how it operates, but more importantly, to see things like he just occurred with Lieutenant Taylor. And there's a price when people volunteer or they serve this community. There's a price sometimes, and so he was able to see the fact that Lieutenant Taylor was injured, but he's recovering, thankfully, from that. But a lot of great things are happening in Warren County, with Warren Central winning the state championship. So he's going to spend the day with me. We got him sworn in this morning, just like we do all deputies, thanks to the judge. And so he's going to do a lot of different things with me, go to some meetings today. We'll probably find one of our local diners to go and you got to do that if you're with the sheriff for the day. So, but just want to introduce him to you all, and he's going to be hanging out with me all day. So thank you very much for that. Now I've got one other thing is Chris Shelton. Chris is retiring. He's been with the Warren County Sheriff's Office for 20 years. Chris has been a phenomenal employee. He started off as a road deputy, and then he became a school resource officer. And he did, I think, a phenomenal job at Lighthouse Academy. Yeah. He was over there for a number of years until this past year when we were able to. He has a love for training, an absolute love for training. He can stay on a firing range and work with folks all day long. I don't have that patience, but he absolutely loves it. He breathes it, and we knew that. And he'd always been helping with our training. So last year, when we really needed a training director, we asked Chris to step into that role, and he's done a phenomenal job with that as well. But he's his wife's telling him he needs to slow down a little bit. But Chris is gonna retire. He's retired from us, and so I want to recognize him this morning. We have a little something I want to give to him right here. And then I would also like to ask Mr. Wilson to come forward. And like I say, principal at Lighthouse, worked with Chris for a number of years, and Chris just has a phenomenal knack with a lot of the students over there. But this is something we just got a little shadow box.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Chris here. And so his wife helped us out with several of these items. So his actual badge there, his nameplate, and some of his other things there. So Chris, if you want to get a quick snap right here. And Mr. Wilson,
just wrote a little letter here. From the alternative staff, so I'd like to read this to you real quick.
Yes, sir.
I'm getting old, I have to get my readers out. On behalf of Jackson Academy, ASP, and Lighthouse Academy, congratulations on your retirement from the Warren County Sheriff's Office. From Chick-fil-A to a School Resource Officer of the Year, and then a call from PETA, we are grateful to have you a part of our building for as long as we did. To be honest, we're not quite sure what we're getting when we heard that an alternative school will be receiving an SRO. We all heard the rumors that Deputy Shelton would not make it in a school setting. We heard that he was too tough and he'd end up getting moved, or he'd be so rough with a student or a staff member, he would end up being somewhere else. But wow, we were so wrong. This new SRO coming to alternative schools, we could not ask for a more caring, compassionate, yet tough when he had to be, SRO. Deputy Shelton quickly became a fan favorite, a school favorite, with staff and students, but more importantly, he became a member of our family. Chris would do whatever it took to make sure the staff and students were taken care of. In today's culture, schools can be a tough place with all the issues, but we always felt safe with him on watch. Chris always had our students as his first priority, and they knew where they stood with Deputy Shelton. Students trusted Chris and often came to him with questions about life situations, and he was there to help. He gave them sound advice and showed them the correct path when life became hard. Chris was at his best when he was with students, from push-up challenges, making soap with kids, and even spending his own money for students in need and giving life lessons. Chris was a vital part of our everyday program, and the staff and students miss him. To us, he is more than an SRO, he is a friend. He will always be our Hank. Again, congratulations to your deserved retirement.
Wow.
And the reference to Hank there, of course, is Chicago PD. He was always our Hank Voigt of the building. So I appreciate that.
Hey, Sheriff. Yeah, way up here. Who's on your office?
Oh, yeah.
You can get this.
Yep. Do a quick picture, yep.
Come on. Come on, all of y'all. Come on.
Okay.
Yeah, come on, Dad. That's Dad, right? Grandfather, come on, Grandpa.
You can zoom out a little bit. I think I've got everybody. Ron, you getting in? Oh, it'll be on social media.
Are we supposed to vote? You allow?
We're gonna move 17 up right now because Sherry Murphy's here. I'm gonna move 17 up
Okay.
right now, so.
Chris, do you want to?
All right. Resume our meeting. If it pleases the court, I'm going to move item 17 up. We have some guests here with us today, so we'll go to item 17. And that's approved funding request from the Convention and Visitors Bureau in the amount of $75,000 for the Kentucky Museum for the development of a new exhibition entitled Sonic Landscape of Soki. These funds will be distributed from the Special Tourism Project Fund, and Sherry Murphy, our CVB director, is with us today to explain that. So, thank you, Sherry.
Well, thank you for allowing us to come before you this morning. Some of you all may not know that we do have a fund that's set aside from some of the, we call it the convention business that comes to Bowling Green. So there's a certain amount of the transient room tax that comes from Holiday Inn University Plaza that we set aside into a separate fund that we call Special Tourism Projects Fund. And the way that interested parties they come to us, our board first, and ask for the funds and explain the project. And then from that, if we approve it, we come before you all to ask for approval, and then we go before the city council as well to ask for approval. So Sonic Landscapes, we felt like it was a very viable project for these funds. And I actually have Brent Bajorkin here with me this morning to answer your questions and explain just a little bit about the importance of the exhibit and trading that out within the museum. Brent, can you come up?
Thank you, Sherry. Hey, everybody. I'm Brent Bjorkman. I know some of you. It's great to be here today. And I guess what I'm about to say, it seems like I'm continuing on this theme of the importance of community and validating the voices of those people around us. So this project, this exhibit project, Sonic Landscapes, is something that celebrates the different voices of our musical legacy here in South Central Kentucky. Everything from Ernest Hogan, the father of ragtime music, who was born in Shake Rag, to Sam Bush, the Hilltoppers doo-wop group, Nappy Roots in the very late 80s, early 90s here, developing on our campus. Let's just go straight to Cage the Elephant today. There's a richness here. We're this close to Nashville, but we're not that. And this exhibit is going to talk about the roots and the routes, the way genres come together and how we learn from one another. It's going to go into some historic things. There were jug bands on the Barron River way back. We have the Dixie Highway, and then subsequently 65 that's taken many different acts. So it's going to talk about everything from celebrating the local people who still stay here and make music, but some of the people, for instance, like Sam Bush, who've gone on to make an international and create their own genre from somebody that's not so far away in Ohio County, Bill Monroe. So we're going to be making all those threads come together in this exhibit. Over the last 5 years, I began this project, maybe some of you remember when I first returned to Kentucky, there was a buzz going on with the former judge executive and the chamber, and there was a group called Here BG, and we were thinking, how can we elevate these voices? So we were doing that for a while. I had a Sam Bush weekend, and I created that, and for whatever reason, energy fell away, but I want to just say that I'd kept that momentum going. For the last 5 or so years, I've been doing interviews with musicians, music appreciators, former small record studio people, record store owners, in general, people that have a love for this region. So something like this as an exhibit, you're going to walk into into the Kentucky Museum, the first exhibit where the Mammoth Cave exhibit is right now. We're going to be switching that out to having sonic landscapes in there. So it'll be the first thing that visitors to our region, community members to our region, prideful musicians and musician lovers are going to be able to see. There's going to be audio, video, sound showers, so you're going to be able to hear some of the things that we're illustrating. Right now I'm working with PBS. I have 3 small docu-series in the can right now where I'm interviewing. One episode is about gospel singers. One has Jonelle Mosser and Jane Pearl talking about singing in clubs in the 80s and the 70s and the 80s. And then I have one about the blues with Alonzo Pennington and Michael Goff, recording that at Thunder Sound Studio. So all these different things that we can draw from to tell this vibrant story. And you can see I'm getting quite excited. So I would just like to have some questions of you. I probably forgot some things, or you might have something in mind to ask me about.
How long will the exhibit run?
The exhibit will run 3 to 5 years. I think the thing is, over this 5 years, there's so much energy about this, and we're also seeing there's going to be a lot of ancillary programming. Of course, there's going to be maybe small performances. I think there's going to be this, being able to promote this at downtown concerts and that sort of thing. We're going to take every opportunity to do that. So I also think that energy is going to keep going as well, and it's going to be something that we can all build on. And I just have a lot of people asking how I can help, including somebody who you took over your job from. So, you have these people who've lived this, and they might not be musicians, but the world needs more music appreciators than they need musicians. So I think it's going to be a really special thing for this. We have so many things in this town, being a motor city, but we also have music, and I think this is going to be like a little touchstone that we can kind of hang a lot of things on.
Yeah, Brent, we're excited about the project. I think it's a great use of the funds, Sherry, something that'll really make a difference in our community. And again, the uniqueness of our community and so many different aspects of it, and you can see just from today, from a high school basketball to a firefighter to this, just another reason it makes it a great community to live, work, and play in. So thank you so much for that. We're looking forward to it and love to get an update when you get finished with that and let us know what's going on there too.
Sure, I think Mike Buchanan has started a podcast, so I'm sure I'm beyond that a few times, I would imagine, but I have no idea. I also wanted to say that Coach Unsell, I'm working with his mother on the Jonesville Symposium, and she's been doing these interviews in that museum. So I recorded that and sent it to her this morning.
Awesome.
She was pretty happy about that. So.
That's fantastic.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you, Brent.
Or wait, I'm sorry, you haven't decided yet.
Oh, no, well. Any other questions for Brent? All right, do we have a motion to approve that? Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire Aldridge. Any other questions? If not, please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're good to go.
I got so close to being really good. Thank you.
That's right, you're awesome.
Thank you all
so
very much.
Thank you for
Appreciate
that. Yep.
Look forward to keeping you updated.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Brent. All right, we'll move back. The order number 7, approve second and final reading of ordinance 2320, rezoning property located at 9970 and 9990 Alvaton Road from residential estate to general business containing approximately 0.98 acres and presently owned by NC Brands LLC and Clint and Brenna Wiles. Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire McWhorter. Questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
Item 8, approve second and final reading of ordinance 2321, rezoning property located at 2172 and 2240, a portion of Mount Olivet Road from agriculture to rural residential containing approximately 7.88 acres and presently owned by William, Emily, Timothy, and Karen Garrity. Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Aldridge. Any questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
Item 9, approve second and final reading of ordinance 2322, rezoning property located at 0 Richardsville Bypass from agriculture to residential estate containing approximately 2.97 acres and presently owned by Big Dog Investments LLC, care of Don Spear.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire Lawrence. Any questions or discussion? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
Item 10, approve second and final reading of ordinance 2323, rezoning property located at 7801 and 7825 Plano Road from agriculture to residential estate containing approximately 2.628 acres and presently owned by Joshua and Karen Baker.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire McWhorter. Any questions, discussion? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
ma'am.
Item 11, approve second and final reading of ordinance 2324, rezoning property located at 209 Massey Road from agriculture to residential estate containing approximately 5.32 acres and presently owned by Wesley and Farrah Lambert.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Lasley, second by Squire Lawrence. Any question or discussion? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
ma'am.
Item 12, approve second and final reading of ordinance 2325, rezoning property located at 0 Anderson Road from residential estate to agriculture containing approximately 1.30 acres and presently owned by Southern Saw Homes LLC, care of Chad Chaffin.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Lasley. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
Approve second and final reading of ordinance 2326, rezoning property located at 5440, 5460, 5488, and 5538 Scottsville Road from residential estate to general business containing approximately 3.546 acres and presently owned by Jeff and Valerie Powell. Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire Aldridge. Questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
ma'am.
Item 14 is approved second and final reading of ordinance 2327, rezoning property located at 0 Halls Chapel Road from agriculture and residential estate to residential estate and agriculture containing approximately .77 acres and presently owned by Robin and Samuel Wilkie. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire McWhorter. Questions or discussions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
Item 15 is approved second and final reading of ordinance 2328, rezoning property located at 0 Veterans Memorial Lane from agriculture and floodplain to multifamily residential, light industrial, and floodplain containing approximately 75.58 acres and presently owned by Richard T.C. Wan, M.D., LLC.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire Cummings. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 16 is approved determination of the amount of $2,904 to Mobile Communications America for the tower, for the tower rental for the radio system for emergency management. This is a single source vendor. Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Aldridge. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 18 is make part of the record the certificate of liability and additional insured endorsement for Sky Engineering LLC. If there's no objections, we'll make that part of the record. Item 19, approve lowest and best quote of $50 per week from Taylor Sanitation for weekly cleaning of the Sheriff's Department location at Sugar Maple Square. There were 3 quotes were obtained.
Motion.
Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Cummings. Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 20 is approve order 2312 appointing Scott Lasley to a 4-year term on the Community Education Board of Directors.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Aldridge. Everyone always approves if it has to have their name on it. That's good. All right, please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Abstain.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Congratulations. We'll have a ceremony right after this, sir. Scott, it's good.
Photo op?
Photo op, yes. Item 21, approve the Warren County Regional Jails Bureau of Prisons Inspection Report and Corrective Action Plan. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire Cummings. Any discussion on that? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 22, approve determination in the amount of $18,883 to Gunter Roofing for the repair of roofing and dugouts damaged at Buchanan Park and Basil Griffin Park during the windstorms on March 3rd. There are 4 quotes were solicited with only 1 response, making this the lowest and best quote. Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Aldridge. Question or discussion?
Chris, I just, sorry to ask this question, but what do we got to do to help try to get more bids? I mean, it's frustrating that we put out 4, you said, and only 1 responded. I'm just curious, what can we do as a body to try to hopefully bring others into, bid and work for us?
That's one of our biggest challenges, I think, across all departments. We reach out to both groups that we've utilized before and newer businesses, and based on their availability, workload in the area, I think we're struggling to get more bids and more quotes on projects. I think the judge and you as fiscal court, I think you all have some opportunities that you're currently working on to help us, all the departments, getting that information out via electronic means a little bit better. I think that will really help. I also think, continuous engagement with as many vendors in all sectors for our operations is really important. We have about 4 or 5 different companies that we utilize for plumbing. We try to do the same for electricity, electrical work. But with our ever-growing market, our ever-growing community, I think that's going to be one of the challenges that we're all going to face. So just continued effort to reach out to those agencies and companies. Everybody's hungry. Everybody has a lot of work right now, and that's going to, I think, continues to be a struggle.
All right, thank you.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 23, approve determination in the amount of $2,062.50 to Warren RECC for the power contract of 56 kW with the Aviation Museum at Griffin Park. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire Williams. Any discussion on that? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 24, approve emergency determination in the amount of $2,382 to My Projects LLC for roof debris removal and disposal for Taylor Chapel Church. The roof was damaged during last month's storm. Insurance will reimburse this expense. I know James is here, but if you didn't see that, during that storm, we lost a significant portion of that roof that fell into the parking lot of the farmer's market there. So,
So moved.
motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Aldridge. question or discussion?
And I assume this is a way, but not worth turning into insurances or deductibles, what it is.
No, it says it.
Yes. Yep. Any other discussion? All right, please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 25, approve lowest and best quote from Bowling Green Glass Company in the amount of $1,253.60 for a third-floor window replacement for the Justice Center. Two other companies were contacted but unable to provide a quote due to an inability to match the glass color. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire Cummings. Any questions for James? Must have a special color up there. Okay. All right, please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 26, make part of the record the certificate of liability insurance for M&L Electrical and M&L Technical Systems. If there's no objections, those will be part of the record. Item 27, approve determination of the amount of $1,315.65 to Executive Elevator Company for repair of Elevator 6 in the Justice Center, and this is the contracted vendor. We do have a contract with them. So, motion by Squire Williams, second by Squire Lawrence. Any questions or discussion? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 28, approve determination of the amount of $4,112.25 to Federal Field Services for technical service repairs to 6 of the county's community outdoor warning sirens, the COWs. This is a single source vendor. Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Lasley. Any questions or discussion? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
Item 29, approve determination of the amount of $5,162.31 to Evapar Generator Company for the Warren County Justice Center's generator water pump replacement, and this as well as the contracted vendor. Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Williams. Questions or discussion? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 30, approve Resolution 2307, adopting and approving the execution of a county road aid co-op program contract between the Fiscal Court and the Commonwealth of Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, Department of Rural and Municipal Aid for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2023, as provided in the Kentucky Revised Statutes, and accepting all roads and streets referred to therein as being a part of the county road system. Motion by Squire Lasley, second by Squire Lawrence. Any questions, discussion? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 31 is approve the revised 2023 fiscal court meeting schedule. And for the members here that are with us, we are attempting to change those meeting dates are on that. And for the majority of those will be on the second and fourth Thursday of the month at 9 a.m. And I don't mind telling you, one of the things that I've noticed for quite a while, it takes us until Monday to finish up paperwork and checks, everything else that we're doing for the previous fiscal court. I would like to start off on a Monday fresh, doing what we're doing for that. So if we have it on Thursday, we'll be finished by Friday with everything that has to happen, all of the documentation, everything that we do to run the county. And so that is what we are going to Thursdays. You'll see that in your packet there. All the magistrates have had that ahead of time to ensure that we don't have, we have very few conflicts, but at the end of the day, we are making that change effective in May, going to the second and fourth Thursday of the month at 9 a.m. Any questions or discussion on that? Great, please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 32 is approved determination in the amount of $1,710 to the Bowling Green Daily News for Household Hazardous Waste Day advertising, and that's paid for by Stormwater Management.
So moved.
Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire McWhorter. Any questions or discussion on that? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
And Nikki and others, congratulations, just a fantastic, another great event we had for the Household Hazardous Waste Day, an important part of this community, and thank you for organizing that with all the rest of the people to help with that.
Joe, do we need a first and second on 31? We didn't get a motion
We didn't get a motion?
on 31.
Oh, I just talked too much. Let's go back to 31. I just want to make it by fiat, I guess. We need a motion to accept item 31. Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Lasley. Now, are there any question or discussion? Please call the roll.
Okay, Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
Thank you, Fiscal Court Clerk. You can come back tomorrow as well. That's good. All right, gotta keep me on my toes. Item 33, approved determination, the amount of $2,000 to the Kentucky Waterways Alliance DBA Green River Watershed Watch for 2023 water sampling. This is a single source vendor and of course is paid for by Stormwater Management. Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Williams. Any other discussion on that? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 34 is approve emergency determination in the amount of $3,645 to Gunter Construction for storm damage repairs to Taylor's Chapel. The roof was damaged during last month's storm. Of course, this is part of that as well. Mr. Markram?
We will be the conduit to pay for these fees. You'll see another article on here about Murphy Daniels to do the repair. So the insurance company wants us to pay them and then they'll reimburse us for it at the end. So you'll see a lot of tickets like that on that for the storm damage.
Okay, we have a motion. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire Cummings. Thank you, James. Any other questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 35 is approve the rental renewal of the Soki Ice Rink in the amount of $142,730 from Ice Rink Events. This contract has an option to renew for 2 more seasons. This is a single source vendor. And Nikki, would you like to come forward? And some people always ask why in April, but we absolutely cannot have this. There is a time limit. You have to at least agree to do that before they'll put you on the books. But Nikki.
Yeah, there's a couple things. We have to preserve our spot so they don't give our rate to somebody else. But this contract's a little bit different. We're gonna do options for renewals. We can lock in a better price, but it's also, we're extending the season. So instead of doing 8 weeks like we've done before, it's gonna be 11 weeks and we're gonna go to the end of January. So open the same time, but go through the whole month like the community has been requesting for a really long time, so.
It's fantastic. It's been especially for the new manager, it's been a great thing for the county, I believe, to do. There is definitely a revenue source for it from not only sponsorships, but also rentals and et cetera. And so it's a great investment for the community. But it is interesting to talk about in April, but as Nikki said, we have to reserve now or we don't get on the list. And so another fantastic thing for us to do. So thank you, Nikki. All right. We have a motion for that. Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Cummings. Discussion or questions?
Just want to add to what your comment was. This is a quality of life issue that really makes a difference in Warren County and our citizens and the surrounding counties that come in and participate in this. So it's something that we hopefully will continue to do until we maybe have a permanent ice rink somewhere.
It's a great thing that we do in the wintertime, that is for sure, so it's good. It's a fantastic thing, and Sarah's with us today. She also helps out with Nikki along with other people, but our Parks Department, everyone involved really does a fantastic job. And I will say, we'll have plenty of time to talk about it in the wintertime, but if you have not been down there, you're missing out. It is a great thing, so Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 36, approve a lease agreement for a 2022 or 2023 one-ton full-size pickup truck with a utility bed and crane with Enterprise Fleet Management in an amount not to exceed $1,700 per month for 60 months for use by the Warren County Road Department. This is replacing a 2001 Chevrolet 3500. This was actually, we approved this last October, the last fiscal court did, but that order window is closed. And so, Josh?
Just wanted to clarify a few things, because if you read these items keenly, which I know you do, these latest enterprise fleets and ones that will come are a little more vague. And the reason they're vague is because what we're finding is we may approve a specific vehicle, but by the time it gets to fiscal court and we approve it, the vehicle's gone, or we miss an ordering window. So what we're looking to do now is we're bringing you estimates from Enterprise, which is a worst case. It would be the high end of a lease payment. Because as you all know, you could go find a vehicle on the lot, and if you don't pay for it that day, it's very possible by the time we get through a court process, it's gone. And then you're starting over with another model. Or you may place an order with Ford and they may cancel your order. So then you try to look for Ram or Chevrolet. So this is a way that we can stay compliant with procurement, but gives us a little flexibility to find these vehicles and get them secured. It's unfortunate that the vehicle market is the way it is right now, but I can give you several stories of the challenges we're facing. But I've spoken with the county attorney, talked to Greg. We think this is the legal way to do it and allow us to still get the vehicles we need, but without bringing them back every time it changes to a penny or something like that. So.
We know it's the legal way to do it. I'm going to correct you on something, but we don't think it is, but we know it is, but just so we're...
Well, correct.
Well, let's ask Sarah. We've asked Amy, but I don't trust her. We don't trust her. Let's get...
To be honest, I was a little concerned that not specifying the exact vehicle with a VIN number was not something we shouldn't do, but I think this is still proper procurement, and I just wanted to be sure we were
Correct.
handling it properly. Thank you.
Correct. Thank you, Josh. Any other questions? All right, we have a motion for that. Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Aldridge. Any other discussion? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Item 37, approve the ground lease with Martin Marietta Materials, Inc. to allow the temporary storage and burning of vegetation from the March 3rd, 2023 windstorm at the Bowling Green Central Quarry located at 5905 Louisville Road. There will be no rent charge for this short-term lease. Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Aldridge, and we appreciate Martin Marietta letting us do that as the road department continues to clear the roads and everything from all that debris. Any questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
Item 38, approve emergency determination, the amount of $186,959 to Scott Murphy and Daniel for repairs to Taylor's Chapel Church, Soke Marketplace Pavilion, and the Soke Marketplace outdoor restrooms for damages caused by the March 3rd, 2023 wind event. These charges, of course, will be submitted to the insurance company, KECO, for reimbursement. Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Lawrence. Any questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
Approve lease agreement with Enterprise Fleet Management for a 2023 half-ton full-size crew cab pickup truck for Public Works in an amount not to exceed $1,250 per month for 48 months. This replacing a truck previously ordered and not fulfilled. Same situation. Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Lasley. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 40, grant judge executive authority to sign CDL training cost reimbursement agreements with Road Department Parks and Rec employees Chad Coffey, Billy Joe Harold, Landon Coffey, Kenneth Rector, and Clinton Houck. Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire Aldridge. It's a great program that we have for these employees to help them continue their career with Warren County. So, any other questions on that? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
Item 41, approved determination the amount of $1,326.05 to Wright Implement for maintenance on a John Deere tractor at Ephraim Park. This is the contracted vendor. Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Williams. Discussion or question? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 42, approve emergency determination in the amount of $5,270 to Newcastle Fence for a new 25-foot cantilever gate for the Parks and Rec Maintenance Building. The old gate was destroyed by a windstorm, and the gate must be replaced as soon as possible to secure the stored equipment. This will be turned into insurance for reimbursement as well. Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Williams. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 43, approved determination the amount of $5,717.90 to Dell Technologies for the purchase of 2 Dell laptops for the Parks and Rec Administrative Office. This is government contract pricing. Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Lasley. Question or discussion? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 44 is approved determination the amount of $4,510 to Stephen Seed in Nashville, Tennessee for the 2-week rental of a bark blower for Parks and Rec. This was previously approved by this court in March, but was no longer available through the local approved vendor. This is a single source vendor as it was the only unit available in our region. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire Cummings. I know Chris and his team goes to all of our facilities to put that mulch out, so we appreciate that hard work there. Any question for Chris? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
If you remember our last fiscal court meeting, we had a report, the Sheriff's Department, after their end of term, was able to turn over $3.9 million, which we got that check in this week for. That's how that works with our fee-based offices. So we appreciate that hard work. And our clerk is with us today for item 45, which is approve her end-of-term settlement from 2019 to 22 from the Warren County Clerk in the amount of $4,549,169 to be turned over to Warren County Fiscal Court. Lynette, we're happy to have the money. There's nothing for you to say. No, please.
No,
I am kidding. I'm kidding.
Not
We
that easy.
want to hear about it. Thank you.
As you all have the breakdowns, it's kind of an overview of my term, our expenditures, our receipts, everything that we have, as you're aware, the 25% account, what was turned over quarterly to the county already in my term was over $4 million. And then what I had left out of my 75% account was the 4.5 million. So we work very hard for the county. I think we were very fiscally responsible with our funds, and so I think when we do come to the courts, we need whatever we're asking for, because as you can see, we don't spend a lot of money in our office, and that's, like I said, that's over our 4-year term. So I think we're pretty responsible with our money. Any questions on anything that we've done or spent or?
You just set the bar now, so now next term it's going to be 5.
Yeah, it's a pretty high number. This is the most that in my my terms so far that I have, and we're very proud to be able to do it. We know that this is what helps the county, this is what helps all of our organizations and our departments, and we're very happy that we can do it.
Yeah.
And it's
And as
also,
Warren County grows, the money's going to continue.
and it's also done while providing effective service. That I've used the services of the clerk offices many times over the last few months. And,
We serve a lot
it's
of
been
people
efficient.
with a very few amount of employees in our office, so we work really hard. The ladies in our office, they get all the credit. Thank you all.
Motion.
Great motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire McWhorter. Thank you, Lynette. Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
Item 46, approved determination, the amount of $4,500 to SCKY Foundation for Workforce, as part of the Workforce Development Board, for funding of a full-time position at Fort Campbell, Kentucky through June 30th, 2023. This is the remaining part of a contract that we did. We have a full-time, this is a situation we have with the City of Bowling Green and Warren County Fiscal Court. We have a full-time recruiter in Fort Campbell that talks with recently retired, but also other military members getting ready to get out of the service to relocate to Bowling Green and Warren County for jobs. And we're starting to see very positive results from that, and this is for the rest of that remaining of that contract. We have a motion by Squire Williams, second by Squire Lawrence. Any discussion or questions on that?
Now, is that cost split between the city and us, or does it, do we
That's
cover
our,
it?
that's our portion of it.
Okay.
Yes, the total cost is split 50/50, but that is our portion, correct?
Thanks.
Yes. They're, I'm not speak for them, but their next meeting, they're doing the same thing, but yes. Great, that's a great question. Thank you for that clarification. All right, please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 47, approve interfund transfers for Warren County. Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire McWhorter. Questions or discussion? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, last item, will the treasurer please present the claims?
General Fund, $2,156,054. Road Fund, $148,163. Jail Fund, $677,665. Stormwater Fund, $96,087. Fed Forfeiture Fund, $786. ARPA Grant Fund, $146,910. And Clerk Storage Fund, $2,283. You have to answer any questions.
Motion to pay the claims.
Motion by Squire Cummings to pay the claims, second by Squire Lawrence. Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
All right. Sheriff?
Thank you, Judge.
Done great. I'm looking forward to, we'll get a full recap for Eli when we're done, see what he's got going. So it's great to have you here today. Lynette, thank you for being here today, and great job on that. Again, just as a reminder, that's $8.5 million between the sheriff and the clerk that's turned over after each term, and greatly appreciate, obviously makes things happen here in Warren County, so thank you. Mr. Comer? Great. Mr. Moore? Thank you, Holly Warren, for being here. All set on the contract license, I'm sure. Ronnie? It's great to have you here. Mr. Peterson, thanks for having so many things on our agenda and holding us up. Thank you. Anything going on with your office? Just the usual, right?
Normal intake.
Keep it rolling, that's right. All right, and James, all good. A lot of, we do, you know, I think you can see this, I'll say this very quickly. I think we didn't talk too much about it, but we're well over $200,000 of damage on that March 3rd storm. And listen, it just barely touched us. So Could have been a lot worse, but thanks for all that hard work of doing that too. Next meeting, we'll also have an update of Sugar Maple Square of that facility that we're doing there for the community center and voting center, so we'll get an idea about that as well. Squire McWhirter?
That was good, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Squire Aldridge?
Two quick items.
Yes.
On April the 22nd, from 7 to 10 a.m., the Browning Volunteer Fire Department will be having their pancake breakfast. I want to invite everybody out to that, of course. And then on April the 27th at 6 p.m., I'm going to start doing the monthly town hall style meetings throughout the district. And the first one again is going to be on April the 27th at 6 p.m. there at the Browning Community Center. So encourage any department heads or any other elected officials that'd like to come out. Appreciate it.
At what time?
6 p.m.
Is it a plated dinner or what's kind of, I shouldn't ask, no, we'll be, okay, that's good. But thank you for doing that, it's good. Squire Cummings?
Just a couple happy birthdays belated. Our own Chris Coomer's birthday was 2 days ago. He's inching in on the 50-year mark, but we appreciate it. Happy birthday. And our own Tom Lawrence birthday was yesterday. And I had money set aside for bail money in case he needed it, but he never called, and I appreciate him.
I stayed home not being good.
It's a first.
But happy birthday to two of our important people in our group.
Thank you for that, for sure. Squire Williams?
Just might remind everybody about the Arbor Day Foundation activities for Operation Pride in April. The first will be tomorrow, beginning at 9 a.m. until they're gone. It's scheduled to go to noon, but I don't think they'll last that long. At Kroger on the US 31W bypass, a drive-through distribution for 100 7-gallon trees and a bag of mulch that will go with each, and that's sponsored by Kroger. Then again on April the 20th from 9 to 12 at Ephraim White Park, drive-through distribution again, 70 7-gallon trees and a bag of mulch each, sponsored by State Farm.
Great. Squire Lawrence?
Yeah, just one more big congratulations out to Warren Central. The Dragons done a great job this year, and I'm really, really proud of them.
Yep. It's fantastic, yes, sir. Proud Dragon, I know, Tom. All it's in your district, you should be proud. Squire Lasley?
I'd just like to thank everybody, the department heads and all the employees of Warren County, that they've got a lot on their plate. And when events like the storms in March come up, it certainly adds even to their workload. The hazardous waste event was incredibly efficient and well run. This is the first time in several years we participated, but it was fantastic.
Great.
Judge, I got one more thing. And this is the first court I've been to that we didn't have Brenda Marie here. And I tell you, they'll be missed, and that's the truth. You know, they're real good friends of mine.
I appreciate those comments. They're both doing well. They both took some vacation right afterwards and back at it. But that's great. Thank you. Crystal?
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Yes, you're welcome. So, Sarah, it's good to have you here today.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes.
I will remind everybody that Soki Marketplace's opening day is Saturday, April 22nd from 8 to 1.
Great. Saturday, April 22nd. Thank you for that. Treasurer?
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. All right. I just want to remind everyone our next meeting is Friday, April 28th at 9 a.m. I appreciate everyone coming out early today. There is a groundbreaking for OI Glass tomorrow at 10 a.m. At the Trans Park. That's a fantastic new company. Would welcome everyone to be out there. And the next Wednesday, which is the what is next Wednesday's date? I should have looked up. Sorry, I'm starting to run my mouth here. It's probably around the 17th. 19th?
Yeah.
Of course it is. Next Wednesday, the 19th at 10:30, they'll have the naming ceremony and official naming ceremony for the Veterans Nursing Home. It's also in the Trans Park, and that has been moved to next Wednesday at 10:30. The governor will be in town for that. The lieutenant governor will be here tomorrow for the groundbreaking, so would welcome everyone to be out for that as well. And then finally, just like to say for the families affected by this tragedy in Louisville, Just a horrible day for them, but really a horrible day for our entire Commonwealth. And so if you continue to keep those families and the people affected by that, the other employees that were not injured, however, witnessed it, you can imagine what they're going through as well. So if we keep those families in your prayers, would be much appreciated. There's nothing else.
Yeah, I forgot to say one more.
Yes, sir, sure.
Also Friday at 11 o'clock, the Realtors will be having their ribbon cutting and so forth for the 8th annual Hope for Hunger event out on Campbell Lane. So if we can hurry off of OI Glass and try to make it down to that one at 10 to 11, I doubt we'll be able to make both, but just want to let everybody know that's a great event that they raise so much money and collect so much food for our school resource officers, and, our school systems and our thing that it's amazing amount of stuff that gets raised there. But their ribbon cutting is at 11 o'clock on Friday. But tonight at 4:30, they're having a kickoff proclamation reading tonight out at the
First Bank.
First Bank out on Scottsville Road across from Greenwood High School. If any of our people would like to come out and be part of that, it's at 4:30. It'll be a proclamation reading and so forth. So I invite all my fellow magistrates out to that at 4:30 today.
Perfect. And also very quickly, their 50th anniversary of community education, they are having a ribbon cutting today at 3 o'clock as well at their facility. If you can make it to that, that would be great. We do have a visitor from the Attorney General's office. Everything good up there? Well, you're welcome to. Correct. Matthew, yes, sorry about that. We've met a long time ago, and so always good to see you, and thank you for coming. All right. If nothing else before us, do we have a motion to adjourn? Motion to adjourn. Motion by Squire Lawrence. Second. We are adjourned. Thank you.